Okay, welcome back. Slightly different thing today. We're going to be doing a unboxing video. Everybody loves an unboxing video. So as you will have seen from the title, we're going to be building basically an ultimate flight simulator rig. Our goal in this series is not just to create a flight simulator that anybody can do. We are going to try and do a FAA certified flight simulator. So to do that, we need some gaming PCs. So because I'm an engineer, I didn't just want to go out and buy the things, so I bought a bunch of parts, over $6,000 worth of PC parts. We'll add it all up at the end, and through this video we'll do an unboxing of all the different components. We'll go through why we chose them, what the differences are, because we're going to be building not one but two computers, and each of them are considered high-end in their own right. So we'll do an unboxing video, and then we'll do a quick build, probably of just one of the computers. I've never built a computer before. I've done various mods to my Macs. I'm a very Mac kind of person, not because I'm a tool or anything, but I just got used to using the Mac ecosystem. So even though I've never built a PC in its entirety before, I have done various mods to this Mac Pro, and I've also got other earlier 2000 Mac Pros, the big silver tower ones. I've done everything in these from changing out SSDs, I've changed CPUs, RAM, that kind of, you know, standard stuff, which is nice and easy. So this one's going to be a little bit different. So let's get started. So first things first, we have two cases. These are from a company called Phanteks. Can't say I've ever heard of them before, but they seem to be good cases, and they're quite big cases. Well, I thought they were huge anyway, but they're considered a mid-tower case. So it's going to be plenty big enough for one of the builds. The other build, I'm hoping it's going to be big enough, because we've got some bigger stuff going in it. So let's take it out of the box and see. I'm using a trusty Walther knife. It's a PPQ kind of grip. It was a matching set, so people like knives, apparently. Everybody uses a different fancy knife for doing these unboxing videos, and I'm just lethal. So here we go. I've never done one of these unboxing things before, so usually I just rip it apart. I'm trying to do it in a slightly more elegant fashion. Okay, so okay, I've got some nice padding in here. Trying to work out. Here we go. Nice, nice. Okay, well, at least it's packed very nicely. So the phone, let's turn it, which way are the feet? I don't know, which way are the feet? Oh, it's upside down, that's why. Okay. Rotate it. Take more phone. Alright, try and get the bag off. I might keep this bag and use it to pot some vegetables or something. Even though at the moment it's still snowing, which is a pain in the ass. Come on. Okay, moment of reveal. Ta-da! Okay, let me go. You can now fucking static. Which is why when I'm going to build the computers, I'm going to wear one of those anti-static wristbands. We're at quite a high elevation here. We're at Reno International Airport, so we're at 4,400 feet above sea level, and I'm currently on carpet, so there's quite a lot of static around. So overall, this case looks very nice. I like the fact it's a see-through glass front. As you can see, this is the non-RGB version. In this build, we're going for performance over aesthetics, really. So I basically wanted maximum flow-through, you know, with fans and everything. RGB came very far down the list of wants and requirements. I do have a couple of very small bits of RGB just to chuck in it, but okay, this is interesting. So let me figure out how to take this front panel off. I think it just comes off like that, and okay, it's nice and easy. Okay, we've got, oh, it's actually velcroed in. Stuff will come to the stuff. So this is interesting. So it currently has 2 case fans, one at the front and one at the back. For some reason I thought it came with 3 fans, 2 at the front and 1 at the back. But no, apparently not. Apparently we've only got 1 at the front and 1 at the back. So I might need to go and buy more fans. I did buy a couple of extra fans because I was intending taking the one from the back and making it the extra on the front to have it 3 fans at the front, and I bought a bigger fan for the back, but I might need to rethink that strategy. That's what you get for waiting until the last minute, opening everything up and hoping to build it. But okay, we'll deal with that. But other than that, it looks pretty nice. Got a whole bunch of stuff in here that I don't understand, like what it's for. As I said, this is my first PC build. So we've got a space for our motherboard. It's full-size ATX, but the motherboard we're going to put in one of the cases is a slightly extended ATX, and I'm really hoping that it'll fit in. I guess we'll find out. So we've got space at the bottom. So we've got space at the bottom for our power supply. Everything else is these nice thumb screws, which I can also use the Phillips head screwdriver on. We've got some vertical stuff in here. I presume that's if you want your graphics card to be some other orientation thing. I don't think we'll be doing that. So we've got one smaller looking fan at the back. On the top, we've got a, oh, it's just a magnetic little thing. That's cool. On the front, we've got some USBs, and what else we got? Oh, USBs and a power switch. That's kind of nice. Okay, but all in all, it's built very nicely. It's quite a big case, but it's definitely not as big as I thought it was going to be. For some reason, it looked a lot bigger in the pictures, but hopefully it's big enough. So, next up, let's have a look at what motherboard we're going to stick in this one. So, I was originally going to use 2 of these, one per computer, obviously. R790 Elite AX. So, from everything I read, it's a great, affordable gaming motherboard. But because of the CPU we're going to put in this, I decided to go for the next step up for our kind of master computer. That's going to be the more powerful computer. So this is going to go in the secondary computer. The primary computer is going to have the 790 Aorus Master. So I ended up, this was a slightly impulse decision. After reading too many forums and everything like that, it looked like this particular motherboard had slightly better cooling characteristics on bits of it. I don't know. Yeah, it's been quite a fun experience. I basically just got to go through and be like, yeah, that seems good. I'll have one of those, please. I'll have 2 of those, please. So, yeah. Gaming motherboard. It is kind of surprising how much heavier this one is over the standard Elite AX. I would have been quite happy with that one, but fuck it. So, There we go. She does look pretty nice. I haven't taken her out of the packaging yet, so let's do that now. Okay, first time out of the packaging. There's some stuff going over it, so here we go. It's quite a hefty chunk of circuitry. Oh, well, we've got other stuff in the box. Hang on, let's have a quick peek what we got. We've got a sticker sheet. It's kind of slightly shiny. Yeah, they are just stickers. I thought they'd be pop out things, but cable labels. Well, that's kind of cool. And just various other ones. Okay, cool. What else? This bit of paper. That says absolutely nothing. Why bother? Ooh, and a little 3M sticker. That's kind of cool. Okay. My things here. So, motherboard itself. So, it's very nice. It looks like we've got little bits of RGB here and there. So, from what I'd read anyway, we've got better cooling characteristics around the VRMs and everything. A few more, maybe, bits of I/O. We've certainly got plenty of fan headers and everything like that. Some LED controls and stuff like that. So, nice. What have we got around the side? So, we've got plenty of USBs, all the USBs we could ever need. We've got 10 gig Ethernet and a couple of special buttons. That looks exciting. So, I shan't be wanting for USBs. We've got Gen 5, M.2. I'm not going to need the Gen 5 portion of it, I don't think, for this one. The SSDs I've got are Gen 4s and Gen 3s. So yeah, nice. It definitely looks nice, high quality stuff. So yeah, very happy. So before I forget, this is the Elite AX next to the Master. So yeah, the first thing I noticed is definitely the build quality. I mean, everything electronics wise still looks impeccable, but you can definitely tell by the heft of it that this is definitely a more substantial product. Everything else visually doesn't look too much different on them. I mean, aesthetically wise, everything's kind of the same. The heat guard's a little bit bigger on that one. I think all this active cooling and everything like that is supposed to be quite different between the two. But yeah, visually not a whole bunch, but let me flip them around and show you underneath. So on the back of the motherboards, this is kind of where you start to see quite a bit of difference. The Master version has this really nice satin backplate on it, so I'm not entirely sure the purpose of that. Maybe it directs airflow over the back of the board, or if it's just there to help prevent short-circuiting, or, well, I'm not entirely sure. But that's the back of the other one. Just looks like a standard PCB board, really. But yeah, I mean, they're both nice products. If I wasn't trying to build the ultimate gaming PC, I would have been pretty happy with this. The Master is just supposed to be a slightly better version for overclocking. And if we're doing any overclocking on these builds, it's going to be with a CPU, if we can. I'll come to that in a later stage. So with the motherboard now revealed, I guess I should show you what CPUs we're going to be putting in this. Spared no expense with the motherboard. Well, I did. I mean, there's so many different versions of the thing. I mean, there was a couple below the Elite AX. Then there was the Elite AX, which I think the Elite AX was like, I want to say $250. This thing is double the price, $500. So you're starting to get into diminishing returns. But I didn't want to spare any expense with the CPU. So it's basically gone for the king of the hill kind of CPUs available right now. And go and get those. Clever girl. Did somebody say Raptor? Yes, that's right. We're going Raptor Lake. We've got the, let me just put it back over there. He died, whatever. Okay, so we've gone Intel 13th Gen i9 13900K. So we've gone for the unlocked overclockable version, and we've got not one, but two. So we've got two i9 unlocked CPUs. Yeah, basically I just Googled what's the newest Intel CPU. This one seemed pretty fast. I mean, I think my Mac Pro at the moment is on, can't remember how many gigahertz the processor is. It's up here. Yeah, so that's what I'm used to. These things will go up to, well, they say 5.8, but we're gonna see if we can get 6 out of them, if not a little bit more. I don't know, I've never overclocked anything before, so hopefully the cooling solution we've got is good enough. So we're doing 2 of these. I haven't looked inside any of these boxes yet, so let's have a little look. It is, ooh, made in Vietnam. Vietnam! Okay. Okay. Ooh, that's kind of nice. Has to keep it. It's nifty. Instruction book. Why do you need an instruction book with a CPU? Oh, it tells you how to put it in. Let a little thing pop off. And that's it. Okay. Thank you. I shall return my engineering degree if I can't get the thing in. So, oh, that's kind of cool. 2 little arrows. There we go. Pop off. I was afraid it was going to fall out there. Okay. There we go. 13900K. So, that should be kind of cool. These things weren't too expensive. It wasn't as expensive as I was contemplating. When I was Googling what's the best Intel processor, I was getting ones come up for like 900, 1100 bucks. I don't know what the fuck they were, but yeah, these were like 550 bucks each, which is quite a lot of money, isn't it? Yeah, okay, fuck it, whatever. So, we've got 2 of those. I won't bother opening the other one. And I'm not going to drop it. Let's put it back in its little thing there. So, we've got our Velociraptors. And now, what should we do now? Should we do RAM? Yeah, let's have a look at RAM. Okay, I changed my mind. We're not doing RAM next. We're doing cooling. So, 2 different computers. I've gone for 2 different AIOs, is apparently what they're called. CPU coolers. So we'll do this one first. So this is the Corsair H100X Elite. So this is a slightly smaller, so it's only a 240. Is that the size of the radiator? I think so. So it's 240mm radiator. We've got 2 fans in there. 2 fans. And it's also RGB, so this is one of the few RGB things. If there was a non-RGB version available, I would have just grabbed that, but there either wasn't or this was the same price, so I grabbed this one. So this is going to be for our slightly less powerful computer. Hopefully it's going to do the job enough. That second computer, I probably won't be overclocking it at all, so it'll just be running stock. Although I've heard with these 3900 CPUs, they can get pretty toasty. So I'm hoping this little radiator is gonna do a good enough job. We'll probably be thermally throttled all over the place. So let's see how this does. If not, we'll have cool pretty lights. Because that's what it's all about. Some people, anyway. Okay. Okay, super chill. I like the Corsair stuff. I haven't really been able to have any before, but Safety and warranty information. It's in hieroglyphics. Whatever. Okay, so this looks interesting. So I decided to go for just a AIO instead of doing a custom liquid cooling thing, because I've never done custom liquid cooling before. I've no doubt that I could. I just couldn't really be bothered. And we're only going to be liquid cooling the CPU. I'm not going to bother doing any liquid cooling with the rest of the motherboard or the graphics cards, because we're not going to be running full on the graphics cards anyway, I suspect. So it would be pointless putting in water cooling on the graphics card, quite honestly. So I just cared about cooling the CPU. And for the price of these things, I mean, this thing was $100, and the bigger one was like $125. And you know, comparing that against a good quality air cooling system, there really wasn't much money in it, if anything. So I thought, screw it, let's do liquid cooling. How wrong can it go? I like the fact that it's already pre-bled. All the water and everything like that is all inside. I don't need to do anything. I just have to put it up. Oh, okay, I wasn't expecting that. So for some reason I was expecting the fans already to be connected, but I suppose that allows you to decide which side of the radiator you want your fans on. So, okay, it looks like, have we got thermal paste pre-applied? Why did they put this thing on so tightly? Why can't they use a bigger bag? Because the little protective cap keeps on wanting to pop off. Okay, there we go. Let's click that back down. I don't want to get that dirty. Oh, he's texting me. Okay, so we've got a little unit there. That looks exciting. And we've got a couple of these thingies. Don't know what they do. I presume one's for the lights and one's for the pump. See, it's not hard. All right, let's put that aside. I did buy other thermal paste, so I don't know if I'll use the pre-applied stuff or just use my own. I don't know. I got some extreme thermal paste, so I don't know. I might use that. Feel free to shout at me in the comments if you think I'm being stupid. Okay. We've got 2 Corsair fans. Also with 2 little plugs. So I presume one is fan power and one is RGB. So, okay, that looks exciting. 2 of those. I've got a little bag of hardware and some form of bracket. I've got another bigger bracket, which I presume goes on the back of the motherboard, and a whole bunch of standoffs. Okay. And we've got a bunch of cables. And screws. Wow, this is like complicated. Screws and cables and fans and more cables. Okay, so that's exciting. Let's have a look at the other one. Okay, so this cooler is from a company called Artic. It looked very good value to me. It was a nice big radiator. 3 fans. 3 fans, that means it's got more cooling power, maybe. But it's got nice braided lines and everything like this. So I think this was $125. But from what I read, it seemed like it was a very good cooling solution. So I thought, screw it, let's go for that one. See how it does. Box is interesting. Okay. Cardboard. Ugh, everything's falling out here. How bad can it go? Okay, there's stuff in there. Don't know what, but there's stuff. Okay, that's nice. Long hoses, so I guess it gives you the choice if you want it on the top or in the front. This is a very big cooler. Fucking hell. It's It's definitely bigger than the last one. That's what she said. Okay. So, wow, okay. It's quite sizable. As we go. And this apparently also includes its own thermal paste. Again, I don't know whether to use that paste or my own paste. Stand by, my wife is calling. Okay, we're back. So yeah, this is a very substantial cooler. It looks like it's actually built very well. It's a very, very nice radiator. The fans look nice. I hope I'm going to be able to fit this in the case. I originally thought I wanted to add the top. Fingers crossed we can actually fit it in there. But yeah, this little, the actual doohickey majigger thing, looks nice. Looks like it might have a little bit of RGB in it. I'm not, actually no, I don't think so. It's only got one dongle-y thing, so I presume that'll be for the pump. So, nice. Looks very nice quality. I'm very pleased with that. For 125 bucks, I'm pretty impressed. Yeah, so this brings me on to one of the subjects which influenced my decision. So from when I was reading about this, at peak it could possibly draw 300 watts, which is a lot of power. So we've got 300 watts. The CPU at full chat could draw up to 300 watts. I don't know, the actual figures vary along the board. The graphics card I've got planned for the computer that this one's going in could potentially be up to 600 watts, but again, actual real world values are anything from like 300 up to 500 and something, so that's a lot of watts. So that brings us on to the subject of power supplies, I suppose. So originally I was going to go with 2 of these MSI 1000 watt power supplies, because I thought, you know, people are saying 850 watt power supply if you're using one of those graphics cards. So 1000 watt should give me plenty. But yeah, if we're using 300 watts for our CPU, 300 watts for my cooler, up to 600 watts for the GPU, and then I've got to have some extra wattage available, I'm going to need something more substantial. So I'm going to take one of these back, and I ended up getting one of these EVGA 1600 watt power supplies, which should be enough. So let's unbox one of these. Enough talking, let's unbox. I'll unbox a little MSI one, just because I want to see that cool new little connector. Oh, first thing off, we've got a special warning about inserting that special 12, what is it called? 12 VHPWR, so I presume it's 12 volt high power WR, whatever the WR is. So insert it properly. Okay, that's quite nice. We've got little foamy foams, and we've got a little padded box. So we've got our power supply here, and we've got a little bag, which is quite nice. MSI branded and everything. Okay, we'll go in this in a second. Let's take out the power supply, which is surprisingly small. I was expecting something bigger. Let's look at the box. Okay, there it is. It's very nice. It's surprisingly small. I was expecting something a lot bigger. So we've got our fan, and around the back we've got all the connectors. And around the back here, so we've got all our connectors here. We've got all the standard ones, stuff for the motherboard and blah blah blah, and then that's their special little power connector that I paid extra for. So I'll be happy with it on this power supply. With the other one, we're just going to have a whole bunch more. Let me quickly unbox that and show you. Before I do that, let's have a look inside this bag and see what we've got. We've got a whole bunch of cables. So we've got a plug-it-in-the-wall kettle cable. I don't know if you call it that in America, but Britain, that's a kettle cord. Okay, I've got lots of cables here. Okay, in this bundle pack, we've got a whole bunch of different cables. I guess I'll figure out what all these are for. I don't know, we've got hard drive ones, other various ones, but that behemoth, I presume that's motherboard. Very cool. More. This nicer looking one, nice and braided. So that's that special 600 watt special connector. So there we go. I feel happy with this. So cool. Let me quickly unbox the other one. Okay, so in this one, the actual power supply itself comes in a very nice little bag. Definitely a much bigger power supply in terms of form factor. So there we go. Very big fan. It's got a big grill as well, so you can kind of see everything inside. Looks very nice. Platinum series. Very nice indeed. I'll give you a close-up of all the connectors, but for now we've actually got a quite substantial instruction manual. Well, it is in different languages, but I'll have to give it a read through. Tells you what to plug in where. I suppose that's handy. Okay. We don't get a nice little baggie for our cables though, which is kind of sad. Just get a big box. Maybe they couldn't find a little baggie for all of these. These actually look nice. They're even higher quality cables, I think. So yeah, got everything for motherboard, different peripherals. They're labeled for peripherals. So yeah, they're nice and they're very long. So very substantial cables. And they've got the nice little Velcro things on them as well, which I'll probably use when I'm putting the computer together for cable management. So that's nice. Means I don't have to use zip ties. Got a special little connector. I presume that's for powering on the computer without some form of jumper cable. And we've got our kettle cord. So yeah, very nice. Okay, I'll give you that close-up of all the connectors. Here we are at the back of the EVGA power supply. So you can tell we've got a lot more different outputs on here, which we're gonna need. Maybe these ones or those ones. I'm not entirely sure yet for the graphics card. So yeah, that'll be a learning curve. I don't have the special 12 volt output, but I guess I'll just have to make do. Hopefully I've got enough. Okay, let's talk about RAM quickly before we get on to the super exciting stuff. So we've gone Corsair for our RAM. So I don't even know if you can still hear me. There was a jet running outside, so I think it's just shutting down, thankfully. Bloody noisy things. So we're doing DDR5 RAM, basically just because it's the newest spec, and you know, we wanted this build to be pretty future-proof, just using not quite the best, but using some of the best stuff that's available at the moment. So we've got 4 sticks of RAM over 2 computers. Let me give you a close-up. So we've got 2 sticks of RAM in each. So DDR5, 64 gig is going to go into our more powerful computer, and then we've got 32 gig for the less powerful computer. I decided to go with 6000 megahertz RAM. I'm not entirely sure. I wanted something a little bit, you know, not the bottom, because I know the RAM can go down to like 3000 something. The typical ones I was finding were kind of in the 5000 range, like 52 or 5400 megahertz. I just wanted something a little bit zippier without going insane. The prices of these have come down quite a bit from what I see. So yeah, this 6000 RAM, can't exactly remember how much it is. I'll put it up here. And the 32 gig, I'll put it up there. So wasn't
too bad. Again, we're just going for, you know, performance over anything, so I wasn't going to pay extra for RGB on the top or any stupid stuff like that. So yeah, 6,000 megahertz. Wasn't going to go stupid with 7,000 plus or whatever. So yeah, I was perfectly happy with this, so it should run quite good.
Okay, let's do storage very quickly. So as you can see, we're using some of the latest stuff. I think I actually have a stick of something like this in my 2013 Mac Pro. It's probably like the first gen or something. NVMe. Do they still call it NVMe? I think they do. So in our main computer, I'm going to do 2 drives. We've got one PCIe Gen 4, and I believe these 2 at the sides are Gen 3, even though they don't actually say in the box. So I just looked at the box and looked at the read-write speeds and was like, screw it, that's pretty good. I think I paid like 45 bucks for a terabyte of this, which seemed very cheap to me. For the faster stuff in the middle, I think it was like 90 something from Best Buy, so I don't know. It's a little bit faster. In the main computer, I'll probably have a couple of extra programs on. In the other computer, we're only going to be running the 1 bit of software on it. So I thought, 1 terabyte's plenty good enough for that. In the other one, we'll run 2 terabytes in different drives. So I'm going to put this in the main slot to get the most out of the storage. I wasn't going to bother going to the Gen 5 version because from what I've seen in real world experience, it doesn't really provide any more and is a hell of a lot more expensive. So for, you know, 150 bucks for 2 terabytes, I'm perfectly happy with that. Okay, the more exciting part. So we've got our graphics cards. Let's wait a little minute. So, the 4070. So this is going to go in our less powerful computer. It's been a little bit of a controversial graphics card from what I could pick up, but I was one of those people that bought this based on, oh, it's a new 40 series graphics card, so it's going to be better than all the 30 series graphic cards because I'm all the gear and no idea kind of person. And it's overclocked and it's got 12 gigs of RAM, so it must be screaming. And I didn't want to pay 1,300 bucks for the 4080 because in this less powerful computer, graphics power isn't really gonna be a uber main concern. I don't think. I might end up using it, I don't know. So basically it's only gonna run a couple of displays. I'm not entirely sure what resolutions the displays are going to be, so it might be 1080p, I don't know. But again, I wanted this build to be somewhat future-proof, kinda. I think it's a good card. It was like 850 bucks, so it's $1,000 less than the other one. So I was like, that seems like good value. Maybe it wasn't good value, I don't know. But yeah, oh, and it's got RGB for all the RGB lover people. So, right, without further ado, let's grab it out of the box. It's got 3 fans. Come here for all your technical content. Okay, got quite a lot of Gigabyte components in this build. So we've got our motherboard, we've got our graphics card. What else is Gigabyte? I'm sure something else is Gigabyte, but yeah. Okay, here we go. Ooh. Get a nice little Gigabyte thingamadoodie. What is in this? Oh, I got a warranty card. That's exciting. And installation of the anti-sag bracket. I will be doing that. And a quick guide. Plug it in. Okay, that's it. Okay, enough of that. So, oh, it's smaller than I imagined. So, what have we got in here? We've got brackets, nobody cares. Oh, and for this one, I've got a, where's my knife? Dangerous. Okay. So this is one of these 1 to 2 adapter cable thingy-majooties. So, okay. I'm not super duper psyched about using it, but oh, actually on this one I'm not going to, because this graphics card is going to be run off our MSI power supply. So we've got the dedicated cable from the power supply to this. So I won't need to use this. So let's have a look at the card. Apologies for the jet noise outside. We are at a international airport here. Okay, so it's a little bit smaller than I was expecting, but we'll compare it against the 4090 in a second. So, okay, we've got lots of quality verified, QC. I've got so many of these anti-static bags, not from graphics cards, but from avionics components. So we'll put that over there. Okay, well, it looks very nice. It's all metal construction by the looks of it, I think. I think that's metal. No, I'm not entirely sure. It's cold to the touch, so I'm guessing it is some form of metal. It looks nice anyway. So we've got 3 reasonably sized fans. But there's like heat sinks and everything everywhere. So this is why I'm not concerned about liquid cooling these cards. They're going to be under very low load respectively for most of the flight simming stuff we're going to be doing on this build. And from what I've been reading, these cards have absolutely no problem keeping cool anyway. So yeah, we're just going to keep it like this. There are so many different versions of both of these graphics cards. I mean, just in the Gigabyte line, there's the standard 4070. I think just the 4070 itself is just coming out, but they've got the TI and this in the normal Gigabyte, I think, and then they've got the gaming. Then they've got this one, the gaming OC for overclocked. Does it come overclocked or is it just overclockable? I'm not entirely sure. And then they've got the Aorus one, and then an Aorus Master, and water forced or whatever. I don't know. There's so many different ones, and they go up to be even more expensive. I mean, this was what, 850 bucks, and I think there was versions with like 2 fans and stuff like that. So it's just like for a couple of bucks more, I'll just get one with all the cooling, but I'm not gonna go overboard and get a liquid cooled or uber RGB one or anything like that. So it's got a little bit of RGB rings and all that kind of stuff. So it's got 1 HDMI output and 3 display ports. Our displays are going to be just regular UHD TVs, so I'm going to have to get some form of DisplayPort to HDMI adapter, but yeah, oh well. Okay, let's unbox the 4090. Okay, let's go ahead and do the 4090. So I'm expecting a little bit bigger of a graphics card from this one. Here we go. Oh, it's already cool out here. Here we go. Oh, it's a little bit smaller than I thought. Oh no, wait, this is a EVGA GTX 750 Ti. Yeah, I just grabbed that from one of my Mac Pros to compare with. Let's see what else is in here. Oh, I've also got another EVGA. What is this? A GTX 980 Ti. So I think this was the last NVIDIA card that I was able to use, because with me being a Mac user, I had this in my Mac Pro 3.1 Mac? I can't even remember. There's a big silver tower. So yeah, before the Apple update meant that NVIDIA card stopped working. So this was the very last one that I was able to use. I can't even remember how much VRAM is on it. So this was from back in the day where video RAM wasn't really a uber selling point. So they didn't even bother putting it on the card. So, oh well, let's put that aside. Let's wait for the jet to go by. Okay, here we go. Jet's finally gone. So, 4090. It's a behemoth 24 gigabytes of VRAM. I don't know how much we're actually going to use, so that's going to be interesting. So, here we go. It's pretty much exactly the same as the other one. So we've got warranty and all that kind of stuff. So it genuinely doesn't look any bigger. Okay, so we've got power cable again. Nobody cares about that. Okay, here we go. Okay, yeah, this one's a little bit bigger. It's quite sizable. I mean, especially compared to the old EVGA one. It's, you know what? It's not. I mean, it's definitely chunkier. I think this one takes up 2 slots. This one takes up more like 4 slots. So I want to get some foam. Put down the foam, because this is the singular most expensive component of the build. Where did I put my knife? Okay, found my knife. This was the singular most expensive product of the build. This was, I think it was $1,800 for one graphics card. So that's quite a lot of money. But basically the reasoning of going for this card, again, as I said, we want to slightly future-proof the build. And I've kind of hinted that we might not be using all of the potential of this graphics card. But, let me put that around that way. But in the day that X-Plane, which is going to be the simulator that we're going to be using, hopefully when that software allows us to utilize more of the graphics card, then we're going to be in prime position to use as much as is required. I'm pretty sure nothing is going to use everything that this has, but yeah, holy crap, this is quite a behemoth of a card. So there's the 4090, and here is the 4070 next to it. So in terms of overall length, they're pretty much the same, which makes me very glad that I got 2 of the big cases, because I'm 99% sure that these cases will be able to accommodate these big cards. So I'm glad I got 2 of them. So because apparently these cards don't fit in quite a lot of cases. So oh well. And then in terms of depth, you can see there it's this one's probably at least 1 slot more than that one. So quite excited about this one. And yes, I definitely will be using the anti-sag bracket for that one as well. Okay, I think there's one extra little bonus feature that I'll unbox for you very quickly. Okay, this is more for me than it is for you, just because I'm doing unboxings and I want to unbox this. So because we're not going to be doing gaming headsets or anything like that, we need some actual form of physical sound. I am kind of a fan of Klipsch. I use it for my home cinema setup. So I trust the brand. THX certified. So I'm not entirely sure it's going to give us the same kind of sound that we get in the movie theater, but hey, it's Klipsch. So I thought 2.1 surround sound, well, it's not really surround sound, it's just stereo with a subwoofer. So There we go. So, I'm not entirely sure how big these speakers are, but Klipsch manual, very nice. Oh. Okay. Okay, here's one of the speakers. They're not huge. They're not small. You know, they're like, oh, okay, not bad. So, I'm kind of an audiophile, so I kind of want to see what these sound like. And this wasn't bad. I think this was like 150 bucks for, you know, 2 speakers and a subwoofer. Hopefully they sound good as my cinema setup. The cinema setup was a little bit more than 150 bucks, but yeah, it should be good. So just wanted to do one little bit of unboxing. You'll see the full setup in a future video. So okay, now that we've done all the relevant unboxing, I think we need to get on the go and build some PCs. So we'll build the main master PC first with the 4090 and the Aorus master motherboard, and since that's going to be the more challenging build insofar as I don't know if the radiator system is going to fit in the case. I don't know for sure if the motherboard is going to fit in the case, so that's going to be our, you know, our test one. And then for the second one, everything should go smoothly because everything's smaller. So, should be fun. Thanks very much for watching the unboxing. Stay tuned for the PC build.